Hi, everyone, and welcome to another round of the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. I am Jeremy Brizell, JB, comfortably at the desk behind the computer and online, and Tony Wolters is out at Salt River Fields hanging out with me and the fans that get fired up to join us. Tony, how you doing?
How's it going, guys? Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it, JB.
We're really thrilled. I know fans are. Use the MLB Fans app to get some comments in and, more importantly, get your device fired up and ask Tony a question directly. That way I can relax and watch the show, which is really my goal for this whole process. But in the meantime, I'll read questions off Twitter and the MLB Fans app. As always, it's an old joke, but a goodie. Here we go. Let's go to the MLB Fans app to start with. I really like this one because it's the kind of thing we don't know. And I'm sure it changes from game to game and moment to moment. But San Fran fan 92 wants to know, how does a typical conversation go with an umpire?
You know, you go up to the plate. I usually know all their names. I go up there and say, hello, how's it going? Like for spring training, I ask them, how's the off season? How's everything going? Then both of us get straight to work and, do our jobs. And we kind of go back and forth with pitches that we think, like, what did you think about that one? Where do you have that one? And he'll tell me things like, hey, I couldn't see that pitch. Just little comments here and there, but, most part we're back there doing our jobs, and we want to do the best for our jobs.
That's great, and it's good to know you guys do have that, and that you ask and assess sort of what his mindset is and how he sees the plate. This is the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. That's Tony Wolters answering your questions. The MLB Fans app is one way to get involved. Twitter's another. We're working on even more technology to make this thing even better. I love this from Strohs. Bro, who was your favorite player, Tony, as a child?
As a child, growing up, my favorite player was Tony Gwynn.
What was it about Tony that was so special to you?
He was, he was always getting on base. He was kind of a hitter like me. I just try to hit those 150-footers over the infielders, and I loved his game. He could easily hit a home run whenever he wanted to, but he was just a gamer out there.
All right. Tony Gwynn, a great answer, one of the great players of all time as well. The name doesn't hurt either. There'll be a fan there. If you're going to be a fan of Tony's.
Yeah, definitely.
A fan joins us in the cage. What's your name, fan, and what's your question for this Tony?
Yeah, hi, Tony. This is Chris from Boulder, Colorado. I just wanted to ask, what do you like hitting at the most about hitting at Coors Field? And we all know it's a hitter's paradise. So what do you like the most about hitting there?
I feel like you can see the ball really well. The batter's eye, makes the ball pop out when you're seeing it. And I like the atmosphere at Coors. You step in the box and you feel at home, and it feels good. It's a good box to be in. So I think it's the batter's eye in the box when you step in.
There you go. And that's sort of the trick of Coors Field. Everybody talks about the altitude obviously helping the ball, the light air, but the batter's eye being able to see that ball to hit it pretty much sets the whole thing up. That's a great insight into how that ballpark plays. I'm going to go, speaking of hitting and getting hits, let's go now with the EDJ question of the day. Tony, what do you remember most about your first Major League home run?
Oh, I remember that I got it pretty good, and I know it was a fastball up. And I remember I was going around the bases trying to figure out how fast I should run around the bases or not. And I almost missed second. That was pretty. And then I got back in the dugout, and they gave me a silent treatment. And then I got some water poured all over me, and I had to do some things in the clubhouse I can't say on the camera. Got water, got ice cream, got toothpaste, everything on me. It was pretty. It was a good night. It was a really good night. It smelled kind of weird coming out of the showers, but it's okay.
That's I'm sure that's something that will last you a long time. I love that you almost missed second base. I don't know why that's a great part of that story, but then the team support as well. But there you have it go. That's the EDJ question of the day. Tony Wolters on his first Major League home run.
Awesome. And
the team effect. We got somebody on mobile now. I'm very excited about that. What's your name, fan? What's your question for Tony?
I'm Scott. I'm from Kansas, North Carolina. I just want to know how much stress is on you when you're a catcher and dealing with the pitchers and pitching coaches and making sure they don't steal on you.
Yeah, as a catcher, you have a lot of things that you're in charge of. And you got to know all the hitters that are coming up. You got to know your pitchers. You have to know how to control your pitchers, see what, when their things aren't on, how to get them through games. And Yeah, there's definitely stress there, but I think I take advantage of it, and I kind of like it. I kind of like being in charge. When I step behind there, you don't get nervous, but you get that good sense of, okay, I'm ready because I'm prepared. And I think I take the stress and use it to my advantage to where, you can never go wrong with what signs you're putting down. You just go with the pitcher's strengths, and you kind of match them up to each hitter. But I think catching's a great position. I love it, and I think it's something where you just use the stress and you kind of use it to your advantage.
Great question from Scott there on the MLB Fans app via his device, and good insight into how Tony approaches one of the great jobs in baseball, being a major league catcher. I go back now to the MLB Fans app, and this is from my Purple family, obviously a Rockies fan, and obviously somebody who knows you, or at least knows of you. What's your favorite thing about playing for Colorado, and is your Jeep for sale? Those are the two questions there from my Purple family.
I love playing in Colorado. The fans are awesome. They're always a great support system with them, and the Jeep's always for sale. So whoever that is, I think I know who it is, but it is always for sale, buddy.
That's good to know. For anybody that's traveling to Colorado, you get jammed up, you're looking for a Jeep. It looks like Tony's also, you can watch him play, as a professional catcher, and if you need a Jeep, he's the guy to go to. This is from the MLB Fans app as well. It's from Sirgon23. Tony, what's your mindset coming into the 2017 season now as a sophomore?
My mindset is keep it simple. Just got to hit the ball, got to catch the ball, help the pitchers through games, and just kind of keep it simple. Last year I think I went from being really, really excited to where, okay, I can kind of simplify it and kind of make it easier for myself. And I think I'm going to go towards, simplifying it and just stay in my game, know my game, not try to do things out of that isn't my game, and keep things that are in my control, and keep my attitude going, and stay positive and just have fun.
Tony, on his approach going into this sophomore season now that he's pressed through that rookie threshold and heads in now. As we've seen from spring training already, they're having some fun there on the Colorado Rockies, and looks forward to a great season. Another fan joins us here in the cage. Fan, what's your name? What's your question for Tony?
Hey, Tony. My name is Luke. I'm from Denver. And my question is, what has allowed you to be so successful at the plate this spring?
Like the same thing I said, I'm going to state it again. I think I'm keeping it simple. I'm seeing the ball well. That means I'm getting ready on time, and I'm trying to not do too much. I'm trying to just nice and easy hit the ball, staying in my approach and keeping it simple. I think when you kind of get to the big leagues, you kind of have to keep it simple because you're facing some of the best, and so sometimes they get you and sometimes you get them, and I'm just trying to have fun, see the ball well, and hit the ball.
There we have another great conversation. Great question from a fan. Fans, get your device fired up. Use the MLB Fans app. If you're mobile, use your laptop and your webcam and ask Tony a question directly. Meanwhile, I will read another question off of the MLB Fans app. We talked earlier about your first home run, Tony, but Smashing Balls wants to know, Tony, what has been your most memorable moment since playing in the bigs?
I think opening day of last year was one of the best moments. I think hearing all the fans, opening day in Coors, sorry, the fans in Coors were unbelievable. Going there and being with everyone, it was pretty nerve-wracking. I wasn't playing that day, but it was pretty a special moment. Seeing with the national anthem and everything that was going on before the game, it was a pretty special moment, and it got me for sure. So.
Those are electric moments, and it must be pretty great to be down there for those first times, taking it all in when you get to do the job you want to be doing as a professional. That's a great memory there for opening day at Coors from Tony Wolters. That's Tony. I'm JB. Fans, get involved. Get your comments here on the MLB Fans app, and I will read them just about like this. This is either T-winning or twinning wants to know. I love this question. Which pitcher hurts your hand the most, Tony?
I think the one pitcher that hurts my hand the most, I think Chatwood. His ball is always moving some direction. It'll move right at the last second. And Tyler, he just throws as hard as he can every time. So I think his ball hurts my hand the most. There's been comments when I come back to the you really got my thumb that time. That last pitch, that really got me. But I think I say that probably once a game with him. But he knows that for sure. And yeah, he gets my thumb pretty. He gets it pretty enlarged sometimes. So.
Just part of the joy of the job back there. It doesn't matter how big that mitt is.
It's a part of the. yeah, it's a part of the job for sure.
We'll follow up with that then. So Philly_kid76 wants to know, Tony, what's the hardest pitch to read, even though you know it's coming?
I think a changeup for catchers.
Oh.
I think that's a hard pitch. It's like an in-betweener. Because changeups usually go down at the last second, and it's kind of okay. Am I blocking or catching the ball? Blocking and catching the ball, and it's kind of in-betweener. So I think the changeup's probably one of the toughest ones to read. Because sometimes it'll cut, sometimes it'll fade. You never know with a changeup. But sliders, curveballs, you kind of know the area it's going to go. And the fastball, same thing. But the changeup's kind of a funky pitch. So I think that's the one that gives me most trouble.
Man, that's why I love doing this job. You learn something new every day. I never would have guessed changeup. If you just said, give me 5 pitches that you think are tough to read, I wouldn't have guessed change. That's Tony Wolters of the Colorado Rockies. I'm JB. You are fans that can get involved with the show. Get your device fired up, or tweet at us, or use the MLB Fans app to ask a question, and then I will read it like this. Padres_Babe wants to know, Tony, let's say outside of Coors, we already know your home ballpark's probably going to be your favorite. What is your favorite ballpark to play in?
Probably last year, I think Fenway was one of the coolest ballparks I played at. Yeah, I got to sign the Green Monster and everything. The fans were awesome. Getting to walk around the stadium, seeing all the history, it was pretty cool.
It really is. That is one of the great places to see and to be a fan of, so it must be amazing to play baseball there. And cool to know that's the one outside of Coors that you'd like to go play at. That's Tony Wolters. I'm JB. You are the fans. Like this fan is almost in. Hey, buddy, what's your name? What's your question for Tony?
My name is Yehuda Castriata, and my question is, when did you make your transition from shortstop?
I transitioned in 2000, I think it was 2013, at the end of spring training. Started catching there, and then I was kind of going back from short to, on my off days, I would play infield on my off days, but go back to catching. But I was going back and forth, and my transition was in 2013. So it's been a few years now since I've been catching.
What was the process like for you? So walk us through how that happened. Who approached you about the idea? Was it your idea? And then what was the actual physical process like to sort of learn a new position?
I got approached from the Indians front office and Terry Francona and everyone, and they asked me if I would try catching. It was probably a week before we were supposed to leave for our teams, and I told them, yeah, let's do it. So I went off with my team, and I DH'd for 2 weeks, and then came back to Arizona, started catching. And then it was about a week that I caught in Arizona, and then I got sent back to High A in the Carolina League with the Mudcats. And then I caught for two years in the minors. Two years in the minors, and after that I came here and started playing for the Rockies and started catching for the Rockies.
That's a great understanding of what that pathway has been like. Before we let you go to all the work you got to do out there today, let's go with this one, which is always, I think people generally want to know this about many players. MLB fan 2453 wants to know, Tony, if you weren't a baseball player, what would you be?
I'd probably be in a band, trying to be a rock star or something. I think that'd be a cool job. Or let's see, like a drummer or something. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Or I'd probably be a coach, or I don't know. It's a hard question, but maybe something in baseball. But I think a rock star would be a cool job. I
think it'd be a great job. I think if you end up coaching, then you just you're like a local rock star. You coach a team, then you go do gigs on the weekend,
definitely.
or vice versa. All right, well, Tony,
that's a dream job right there.
That's not bad. Other than this dream job, that's a pretty dream job. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Tony, I know you're in spring training, so you got a lot of work to do, and a lot of your teammates, you guys got a lot, tours to run around Salt River Fields and other things to get handled out there. Did you have a good time hanging out with fans today?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, guys, for having me, and I love all the questions. Keep hitting me up on Tony Wolters on Twitter and Instagram, and love to answer any question you guys have for me.
All right, that's Tony Wolters. Thank you, Tony. Have a great, great season. We look forward to watching you play for the Colorado Rockies. Fans, as always, thank you for being part of this round of the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. We'll see you on the next one.